Hey guys, Kaz here, and yes, I am very late, but I'm going to be doing my 2024 journal flip through. So this journal, I do everything in. I track what I watch, what I read, what I buy in terms of books, but also if I go anywhere, escape rooms, holidays, it's like everything all in one. So we're just going to jump straight in. So first of all, this is the last thing I did in here. This was the page. Some journals have the page where you can like write in the page number of stuff, and yeah, I don't care about that, so I just painted over it, and that was my 2024 here we are page. Oh, speaking of journals though, this, I'm pretty sure I found this on Temu, to be honest, because the past like 4 years I've used the same journal every year, but it wasn't available, so I just, two main things for me. The pages, I need a decent amount of pages because I don't want to be splitting it up into two, and the thickness of the pages because, as you can see, I do a lot of painting. So yeah, I found this one on Temu. It worked really well, so boom. I think it was like under a tenner. Good times. But yeah, let's jump straight in. So here, first of all, this is my 2024 TBR. I always make a specific TBR of specific books, and here I did sort of like a library thing where I put the date of when I'd finished the books and wrote the books on here. But as you can see, there are some still white. Basically, like halfway through the year I got really slumpy, and then in like October I just decided that I wasn't even gonna try and read these books because, like always, the non-fiction and the bigger books were left to the end, so I just wasn't in the mood to read them. But that's fine. A goal doesn't mean that you have to do it. It's like fun to try, but I was like, yeah, it's not happening, so let's not. So over here we have the best book of the month. I know a lot of people do the book bracket thing. I'm not a fan of that. I just, yeah, it's just not my vibe. So over here, what I try and do is just do either the cover or like a thing that is very reminiscent of the book. So over here it's like January, February, March, April, May, etc. And then the books, we have Violence Begets, Our Dreams at Dusk. I read all 4 of them. I think this is the cover for number 2 or 3, but all 4 of them are great. Then we have In Deeper Waters, The Wicked and the Divine. I think this might be volume 2. Then we have Gideon Falls. Again, I read all of the Gideon Falls series this month. We have The Big Ask, The Darkest Part of the Forest, Pretty Deadly volume 1, This Is How It Ends, Dora, Smoker and Bone, Icebreaker, and then Something Is Killing the Children volume 4. Over here we have a little bookish bingo. I managed to complete all of these. It's not too crazy, so a few in here. One of my main goals I always have is read 50% of the books that I hold. I'm pretty sure at the end of the year it was like exactly 50%, so I just got there. Then we have stuff like some rereads, some new authors, some new releases, series, etc. And over here we have just other stuff bingo. As you can see, I didn't manage to complete this, but again, that's fine. And some of the ones I did pretend that I completed, I also put -1 because I did 14 escape rooms, so I put 15 and I just wrote -1 at the end and crossed it out because it's my journal and I'll do what I want. This was a blank page for a lot of the time, so in the end I just put all of my gigs that I did there. And then over here, this is TV shows, so I try and pick out like my favourite TV show of that month. These ones, as you can see, again, I just try and do something that's reminiscent of the show. Like Dead Boy Detectives, this is kind of what the actual front cover looks like. But then like Young Royals, they have this sort of symbols in the background of some of the covers and stuff. Like The Boys, obviously this is like the symbol, and yeah, we've got all that. Heartstopper again, it's just like the little leaves. But moving on to films, this year I'm actually doing really good with watching films. So basically I got a letterbox, and then somehow that made me think I want to watch more films. But last year, 2024, like some of these months I only watched one film, like Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I didn't like that film, but I put it in films because it was the only film I watched in March, for example. But yeah, we've got some film stuff here. Again, just trying to have a picture that makes sense with the film. This section is monthly, and I just write like some fun things that I did that month. This is nice to look at. So say it's like halfway through the month, like here for example, and like I've not marked anything down, I think I need to do something at some point this month. So I've got at least a couple of things each month to look forward to and to do. So we have holidays in here, we have gigs, we have escape rooms, we have food. Like each month I go with my friends and have food and stuff. So yeah, it's just nice to keep an eye on that sort of stuff, to make sure I'm actually doing stuff. This is the Buzzword Challenge. This was created by Kayla over at Books and Lala. Anybody I mentioned in this video will be linked in the description. But basically each month there's like a little prompt, like there, and there. And then I read there will be phlogiston for that month. Other ones it's positive words, so it's more open. So our dreams at dusk. I figured dreams is a positive word because nightmare is a negative word, so it makes sense. But yes, I managed to complete that. That is something that I like to do each year. I've done it a couple of years now, and it also makes me read random things, because if I don't own something with the words in, I take a look on like my library app on Amazon to see if they have any free books for your Kindle to read that. So yeah, sometimes it's a good time, sometimes it's alright, but there you go. Next up we've got the book series. The red is what I'd already read there, black is what I read in the month, and then there's some crosses here. These are ones I've just decided to not read. So the Vampire Academy, I did really enjoy both of them books, but like I read the first one, and then like maybe a year or two later I read the second one and thought, oh yeah, this is really good. And then since then it's been a couple of years, so I'm like, realistically, even though I really enjoyed them, obviously I'm not bothered about it, so I just decided against that. Same for some of these, like Zombieland. This is a manga. It's just hard to get the volumes, and I wasn't enjoying it that much to spend loads of money on getting them. Deathless, the second book, The Merciless Ones, put me in a slump for like half a year, so obviously I wasn't going to carry on that. But I finished a few, so that was good. Carried some on, and then we got comics as well over here. Here we've got borrowed books, so physical or ebook, and then whether it's from the library, online, or from Amazon Prime book things. I know it's very bookish so far, guys. This is just like the first stuff, and then we get into like more other things. The genres of my books, I just did a little thing with a little key down here, and then at the end this is like everything together, and then I like to split up my graphic novels as well, because I put graphic novels as one purple. As you can see, I read a lot, but then I like to split it up. Like within graphic novels I read these genres. You can pause it if you care. And then age range, same, did the age range, did a little bar graph. And then author, we have identity, and then race, and some bar graphs. And then this one, the star rating, this is skewed because if you see down here, I had 54 stars, and then the one below that is 20. So I was like, I don't want to make everything really small and then this one big. So it goes up, and then when it gets to 20 it just goes 30, 40, 50, because yeah, otherwise this would look mad. And then here we have my little stats section, so I like to see how many TBR books I own, like physical TBR books, at the start, at the end of the month, and then how many I read, how many I hold, and the pages read, just for fun. And then here's the end of the year stats as well. And then this is a fun page, this is my escape rooms. So if I just open this little key up, these are all the escape rooms I did in the year. So on each of these I've got the month and then what it was called. So like January I did Kronos, January I also did The Cabin Lies Beneath, somewhere over here, September Quest of the Worthy, November The Signal. So yeah, it's just a fun little way to have all of my escape rooms with a door, because escaping. This is my travel section. So in here we've got England and where I went in England, and then I also went to 3 countries in 2024. So in Germany I went to Poland and I went to Hungary. So I just list sort of the places that I went and mark them down because it's nice to see. And then this is art stuff. I had a few art things I wanted to do, didn't get them all done. Again, it's fine, it's not a big deal if you don't hit every target that you make for yourself, but this was a fun page to create anyway. And then we're going into the monthly things. So January, first of all, you can see that sometimes the colour leaks in when I'm painting stuff, but that's fine, it doesn't need to be perfect. But here I just had these really cool stickers, so I wanted to actually use them because I have a bajillion stickers. And then the way I set it up, I always have red and then hold books, And then watch list, all the things that I watched. I'm going to be going through like these sort of things each month quite quickly, but you can pause if you care. And then onto the fun things. So Kronos was the first escape room we did, and this sort of makes sense of what it's like. And then in the background I've written loads of stuff, but you know, spoilers. This is in Nottingham at, what's it called? Escapologic. Yeah, this one's a really good escape room. Hard, but very good. We also did the cabin What Lies Beneath. This was Escape Lincoln, which doesn't exist anymore, so I can't... Oh no, it does, but it's called something else because it's something to do with like golf putting or something. I can't remember, but anyway, it does exist, but not under this name. But yeah, this was a really fun one. So I really enjoy doing cabins, creepy stuff, horror ones. They're just like, the vibes are just always really fun. And also the setting, you can just make it look really good when it's scary. And then went to February. I had loads of mushroom stickers, so we got the mushrooms out. Here's what I read and what I hold, quite a lot on both sides. And then what I watched in here, and this one is, we did a little D&D game, so we've not really done many at all since there because my sister got a new job, so it's like hard to be able to have everybody at the same time and stuff. But this was me, my sister, my mum and her partner having a nice little game of D&D, and here's the map. So that was fun. I went on a hike with my sister to Lud's Church in Staffordshire. This is really cool. You go down here and then there's like these really big cliff type things. And then I used my sister as a little person to get in the pictures. But yeah, this was a great time. I really like walking around, seeing nature and that. So yeah. And then here is the first gig that I did this year. So this is Enter Shikari. Here's the set list. But this, I just copied my review because I'm a photographer, I'm a reviewer. I just copied my review into here and chucked some of the pictures in here. And then the set list, of course. But yeah, this was great. This was at Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham. First time I've ever shot the Motorpoint Arena. So that was really good. And then I went to Lincoln Castle for one day. There was these cool like dragons. And yeah, we just had a little wander around, saw the prison cells and stuff. But yeah, good time. This was the same day as Enter Shikari. That was a busy day. Later in the month I went to the Museum of Curiosities, also in Nottingham. This is just like weird and wonderful things. So it has like horror movie things. There's the saw guy. This is like mice, real mice that had been put into different places. This is a vampire hunting kit. This is a crow with two heads. This is just a giraffe skull because they look cool. So yeah, that was just a random fun time to have a little wander around and see all these things. And then another gig, Novelists, The Word Alive, Ashen and Elwood Stray. Ashen, I think, were the first band. I didn't photograph them because I got there too late. I only saw like the last two songs. But yes, here are some pictures and there's my review. I'll leave the link down below for these as well if you want to actually read the reviews fully and see the pictures. I'll put them all linked down below. But yeah, next up we have another escape room, Lancaster. This was all about the Lancaster bomber, and there was a lot of stuff on the walls, which is why I did it like this, set it out like this. And then we are into March. You can see all of the different dice because March was the Roll of Reeds readathon. So again, link down below. Mel from A Book Fiend Named Mel was the host of this. So there was, you had to do stuff and then get a prompt list. And then this is what I read. I printed off loads of little dice everywhere to put on here. I've got my haul, quite a big one again, whoops. And then the watch list over here. And then another gig, this was Twin Atlantic and Bayboards. And again, we've got the little flap with the little set list over here. And here's my review, which will be linked down below. Some little choice cuts of the pictures. This escape room, the Assassin's Hideaway at Deliverance Escape Rooms in Lincoln. Honestly, Deliverance is probably, I would say, my favourite escape room place to go to. They only have 4 though. We've done 3 of them. We've been putting off the last one because then we'll have no more and it'll be sad. But this one was really cool, and I've got a little hidden bit here. Here's my little write-up of stuff. But yeah, you had to go and find stuff, and then there was like an assassin there. Anyway, it was really good. I don't want to say too much because spoilers. But Deliverance Escape Rooms, Lincoln. If you're ever in Lincoln and you want to do escape rooms, go there. It's the best. We have another gig. This is Born of Osiris, Attila, Aviana and Crown Magnetar. That's the one. We've got the Born of Osiris set list here. Some pictures. And then Nottingham Castle, another castle. We went to Nottingham Castle. Nottingham Castle's quite cool because you buy the ticket and then you can go there for a whole year. So that's always fun. I did a little painting in the background. Oh, side note, all of the painting that I do in my journal is Winder and Newton Cotman. I have this massive set. This is what I use to paint my journal. But then if I go on holiday, I take the little travel one with me so I can paint while I'm there. But yeah, great time. Had a look around the castle, around the museum and the gallery and stuff in there. And then we're on to April. Now surprisingly, I had another readathon in April. So one and then straight into another one. This readathon was the Tomes and Treasures. And this is by Jem from the Creepy Geek and Ashleigh from Ashleigh's Bookish Life. And I really enjoyed this one actually because like the whole of the month I did in this sort of style. So because it's like a D&D readathon, Tomes and Treasures, you're making your character basically. There's different like prompts for getting all the stuff, your class, your deity, your background, etc. So I wanted to do it so it was like an old school book, which is why I went for like the coffee stain sort of colour. And then I had some stencils that I chucked in as well. So yeah, here's the character I made. This is what I read, and we're going into the halls. And then over here is what I watched. As you can see, it's all got the same vibe. We've got a Cthulhu in there because that's my god or deity for my character. And then even the concert I did like this. I went to photograph, what are they called again? Pierce the Veil. So I did it in the same sort of way that is. So we've got Hold Absence, which is the first support, and Dayseeker, and then Pierce the Veil. Got some of the stencils in there as well. 2 escape rooms. So again, I wanted to keep the same vibes. These were both the same place, so I did the symbol from this escape room place. This is the one I mentioned earlier that doesn't exist anymore. But it does, but it's got a different name. It used to be Escape Lincoln, but now it's somewhat like Golf Puttering or something, I can't remember. But yeah, this one, Prison Van, is literally set in an old prison van and you have to escape from it. And Plaza Casino, you have to break into the casino, steal as much money as you can, and then get out. And then we're into May. May, a lot of the time, I don't do this before. I know this is why my videos like several months after, or it's not, I'm just lazy. But when I do my journals, I don't like pre-plan the month. A lot of the time I don't start doing it until halfway through the month, and then I'm like, oh, I did this thing, so I can plan the style around that thing. So basically in May I read loads of stuff, so I made the theme loads of books. And also the yellow, I believe in May is when I went to see Happy Hour, and that was yellow. So yeah, that's how I decided. This is just loads of different coloured pencils, a bunch of different brands and stuff, so I can't even say what it was. But yeah, as you can see, this is what I read. Now don't get me wrong, a lot of these are comics, but it's still quite a few things. This is what I hold. Here's the thing though, you see that one right at the end, the Merciless Ones? That made me slump. And like, I still don't feel like I'm out of a slump. I am reading stuff, but I still don't feel fully as into reading than I did at the beginning of last year. So like the Merciless Ones fucked me up good and proper. It took ages to read. I was doing a buddy read, which is why I didn't just DNF it. And then in the end, I finished the book and my buddy reader has not even finished it and got halfway through. And I was like, honestly, just stop because it's an effort. It was making her slump as well. So yeah, if you like that, amazing. But oh my days, did me in something chronic. But yeah, we've got my watch list over here. What I saw, Gideon Falls is a series. I borrowed this from the library. It's by Jeff Lemire, and they had the whole full series. I think it's like 6 comics. I painted this. I feel like I had a reason for this background, and then I forgot what it was. So then I just painted the house from Gideon Falls on it, so it wasn't just a big plain paper. But yeah, I don't know what I was originally going to do there. Oh yeah, Happy Hour, I was talking about that. So Happy Hour Live, they did the big fat massive hunt. Yeah, this was like YouTubers slash podcasters, and it was a fun time. Here's some of the confetti from the thing. It was in the Theatre Royal in Nottingham, and it was a great time. I went the last tour they did as well, which was also a great time. And then we're into June, and as you can see, there's a big old German flag there, and that's because I went to Berlin in June. So we're getting into the first travel section of this journal. So we start with the basic normal stuff, what I read, what I hauled, trying to get a little bit travel-y in there. So I've got this little backpack sticker there. Then my watch list, and then straight into my Berlin travel section. So whenever I go on holiday, I always like to put a little bit of effort in. It's proper like a little travel journal. I take it with me, but sometimes I'll do it there, sometimes I won't. So the way I do it is I have a certain size contact sheet that I use on Photoshop, so I know how big the pictures are. So normally I have one in the back of my journal, like the right size, and I'll just draw around it where I want to put it if I'm painting it there. A lot of the time I will write there, but a lot of the time I won't write there. I'll just wait and do it. Depends on how much effort I can put in at the end of the day when I've been doing stuff. So, Eastside Gallery. Then we went to the Deutschland Museum. This was really fun. You created your own little bookmark there. But yeah, this was great. It was just going around all the different stuff that happened in Germany, and the way it was set out was really cool. Like each room was just like fully the vibe of what was happening. And there was loads of little fun things that you could do there. And then right next door to this museum, and also in like a double ticket for less than individual ones, was the Spy Museum. This one was really cool as well. There was loads of fun things. You could make your own message using Morse code, and that printed out. And then it had loads of stuff that like had spy stuff in. It's just a really cool place to go. Side note on this, I'm not going like crazy into it, but I was thinking about making a separate video just for my travel journal sections, going through every single one that I've done, going through like what I take with me, the supplies I use. I don't know if that's going to be interesting for people, but let me know if it will be. Next day we went to Peacock Island. This was an island and there was loads of peacocks on it, and it was really cool. You just wander about, there was food, there was peacocks. Oh my days, we also saw some foxes. But yes, this is one of the buildings there. So sometimes I like to put a bit more effort into painting the background when I'm doing travel vlog stuff. Travel journal stuff. This page shows the foxes. We was just walking, and then I was like, oh my days, there's 2 baby foxes there, and they were just playing, and it was absolutely adorable. The best time. Day after that we went to the Tierpark Zoo and saw loads of animals again. It was a fun time. It rained on that day, I remember. I did a vlog on it. Have I put that out yet? I haven't actually edited that vlog, even though this was in June. That will come out at some point, probably. But yeah, at one point I just absolutely peed it down. But it was nice because it was warm. More animals. We went to this bird talk, but then it was only in German, so I didn't understand anything, but there was loads of cool birds flying around. More animals. There was a little bit where you could go in and the lemurs were just hanging out. And then the last day we had a wander into town and saw the Checkpoint Charlie, so that's what this is. And then there was also just a random Hare Krishna get-together parade thing on, which was cool. There were just loads of people, they were all singing and chanting and handing out fruit and stuff. It was really cool. And then that last day also went to Die Mauer, which is the wall panorama. So it's like the Berlin Wall, but a big panorama that you can go into. And on the wall it had like loads of graffiti and stuff. Like on the wall, not that wall, the wall of the building. So that's why I did the background like that. And then we're into July. This one, I just have loads of stickers and I was trying to get rid of some of them in a good way. By using them, not by throwing them away. But can you remember that time when I said that book made me slump? So I read these 2 books in July, and that was it because I was Captain Slumps. And then this is my haul, so I just put it on the same page because there's not a lot there. This book was really good, this book was terrible, so that's a bonus. Here's my watch list. I didn't watch that much either that month, so don't know what was going on. Oh, Palm Reader. Oh my days, my favourite band, Palm Reader, split up and this was their final gig. But the singer's in another band now, and like, to me, bands are the vocalists, so Vower is just Palm Reader, so boom, at least I'm not without. But yeah, this was the gig. Here's the writing, there's the set list, here's some pictures. Again, I will leave the full review down below if you want to read it. And obviously the pictures will be there as well in better quality than my terrible printer. Mangata Festival was another festival I did. This one I wasn't writing, which so glad, because like, I'm good at writing reviews but they take ages and I don't like doing them because they take so long. But this one I was just like taking pictures, bonus. So each of these is a different band, as you can see, with a little name next to them. And then more, because it was a festival, Drip Fed Empire. That was probably my favourite band on that day to take pictures of and to watch, because they were just really fun. 7th Sea, Cabin Boy, Jump Ship, Bite Town, etc, etc. More. This is one of my favourite pictures I took that day. It's just a dude in the crowd. And then another gig, The Warning and Dead Pony at Rock City in Nottingham, which is my local, so. And again, the printing of this is not good, but that's one of my favourite pictures I took this year of the singer of Dead Pony. So boom. And then I went to the cinema to see Deadpool and Wolverine. And you probably can't tell on here, but there is actually writing on here. I wrote in red and then I wrote in yellow, but obviously yellow is really hard to read. But there are words here, and they do say stuff. But I thought it was a fun time. I enjoyed that film. And it's only a £5 to go to the local Odeon cinema, so, you know, I like to check some stuff out every now and again. And then we went to Twycross Zoo, animals, stuff. They had this cool Lego display where there was loads of animals made out of bajillions of Lego bricks, which is always a bonus. And then into August. I really enjoyed doing this. I have all these little frog stickers. They had the white around the edges, so I had to get like a little X-Acto knife and I was cutting them all out perfectly. And then I made a little forest for them to live in. And I very much enjoyed doing this theme. Here we are. Here's my haul. I hauled loads of stuff. And it looks like I read a lot, and I did. But I was still slumping this month. And I will say, most of these are comics. Because I bought loads of comics, the first volume of comics from Sci-Fi, because they were all like between 60p and like £3 each. So I thought, maybe it'll get me back out of the slums, because comics are easier to read. And then I did a vlog, which I will link down below and up there, if I remember, where I read a bunch of first volume of comics. So that's why it looks like I read a lot, but then outside of that, I read a few things here and there, but I was still feeling the slumps. But yeah, that was a fun time. And then here's my watch list. Again, The Amazing Frogs. They're just adorable. And then I watched some stuff. And then we went to the Scott Polar Research Institute. So, was meant to go here October the year before. Went all the way to Cambridge. My sister took me there for my birthday. And it was closed for no reason on that day. So we went back this time and it was like nearly a year later for my birthday we actually got to go. And here's some words about it. I liked this little bag that my postcards came in, so there's little words there. But yes, this is a polar travel museum, and if you know me, you know that I really enjoy reading about polar stuff, so it was great. And then the same day in Cambridge we went to the Botanic Gardens. There was this little pool and it had all these little fishes in, and I put my hand in just because I wanted to have like a background to it. And then they just all came up and they was all suckling on my hands. So then, like, every single person that came in, I was like, put your hand in. And there was just a pool with loads of people with their hands in, and then the fishes having a little go. It was great. It was just an accidental time, but it was really fun. And then we also did an escape room while we were there. So we went and did Tarot, which was at the same escape room that we did when we went to Cambridge the first time and the Polar Museum was shut. Cryptex in or around or near Cambridge, and this one was a 75-minute one rather than an hour one, so yeah, that was really cool. Town artifacts. There was buildings work going on in my town, and they found like a bunch of walls and horse bones and a well, So then they just had an open day where people could come and have a look at the stuff, which was really cool and interesting. And then I went to the cinema again and I saw The Crow. And I'm sure most people know it wasn't the best film. I didn't hate it as much as everyone else seems to. Like, I could appreciate some of the fight scenes were really cool. I enjoyed them. But, like, it definitely lacked a lot. But I didn't hate it. There were some fun things here. I feel like it could have been a good film if they actually stuck to the whole meat and bones of what The Crow is, which is a dude kills them and then he wants to get revenge on the dude. But in the remake it's like they get killed but then they're just getting revenge on a bunch of cronies that weren't even there, and it just lacked the whole actual revenge stuff. But yeah, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't the best. And then into September, got a bit of a nautical theme here. I believe I went with a nautical theme because, boom, I got this sticker when I photographed the Mangata Festival. There were some stalls on and there was a local artist that did stickers, so I thought that was a cool one. So I wanted to make a nautical themed spread so I could put it in. But yeah, here are some books that I read. Again, comic. These are actual books, so I was getting better. I feel like I went like in peaks and troughs. Is that how that saying said? How I was like feeling really slumpy and then I got a bit better, but I was like, still not really interested in the reading stuff. But, you know, that's not a bad thing, reading that much. I feel like I was still decent. Here's what I watched. And then we did an escape room. This was in Lincoln, at the same place I've mentioned a bunch of times. Oh, here you go. It's Golf Putters Place, formerly Escape Lincoln. So it was Golf Putters. I've mentioned that a few times. I was correct. This was about like Norse mythology, quest of the worthy. And then I went to see Beetlejuice at the cinema, which I enjoyed. I thought it was a fun time. Laughed out loud a few times, so always a bonus. And this was a fun page to do as well. And then I went to see the History Boys at the theatre. History, it's just one fucking thing after another. This was really good. So basically, I've seen the History Boys film, so I knew that I liked it. And I was like, you know what? I've never been to like a proper theatre show, so I'm gonna go. So I bought this ticket many months in advance and I really enjoyed it. I was right at the top. And yeah, it was just really cool. So it's something I definitely want to do more of, going to the theatre and seeing stuff. It's just cool, isn't it? Oh, I tell a lie, I've been to the theatre once because I've seen The Woman in Black when I was at school. But yeah, on my own. I just went to the theatre on my own at 2 PM and it was a great time. I also went to see Bianca Del Rio. This one was more like towards the end. I hadn't planned this. I'd seen it a few times, but then when I was at History Boys I noticed like the poster for it again and it was in a week's time and I was like, you know what, I love Bianca Del Rio, I'm gonna go to that. And I'm glad I did because she was hilarious. Woollerton Park, this is in Nottingham and it's just a really nice area. There's a bunch of wild deer there, there's like buildings, there's a lake. So yeah, just had a wander around there with my sister. And then we're into October. This is another sticker from that same person that I mentioned earlier. If I can figure out who it is, I will put the link down below, because I've definitely got it written somewhere who this artist was, but I'm not sure. But yes, October, my birthday month. Obviously I wanted to go for the spooky vibes. I went for the grey vibes and just scoured all of my stickers because I got bajillion to figure out which ones I could put in here that has the vibes. So yeah, this is my haul because obviously it was my birthday month, so I got a bunch of stuff. And this is what I read. I did read a few really great big books here. So I read The Daughter of Smoke and Bone and Days of Blood and Starlight. They're not massive, but like, they're quite chunky fancies for somebody that's slumping at the time. And then I reread The Foxhole Cut and The Raven King. And then The King's Men as well. And then a comic. I don't know why I went through that because I've not gone through all the rest of them, but yeah. And then I watched not many things, but that's because I was too busy because I was going places. So I went to Wrocław. I always book 2 weeks off around my birthday because I want to go places. Went to Wrocław in Poland. This was awesome. I really enjoyed this time. And I really enjoyed doing the spreads for this as well. So this is the, what is it, some sort of, the Japanese garden. which is near the multimedia fountain. It was really great, really nice place. You can just have a little wander around. And then we also went to Hydropolis, which is a water museum, and this was so cool. Whenever I book to go somewhere, I just go on Google Maps and just look for places, just find anything that looks really cool, and this looked really cool, and it was. And then I wrote this little fact here because it's so cool. The largest snowflakes ever recorded were in Montana on the 28th of January 1887, 38 centimetres in diameter and about 20 centimetres thick. That's mental. Imagine a snowflake that big. But yeah, this is a really cool museum, so if you ever go to Wrocław, like 100% go to Hydropolis, it's amazing. And then the next day we went to a little uni geological museum, and this was tiny. This was in Wrocław Uni, and it's so small that we couldn't find it, and they went to the main office and asked the guy that was there, and he literally didn't know what it was on about. It was so small, even people that worked there didn't know what it was. But we went all the way around to the back and then found it eventually. It was really, really tiny little place, and it just had loads of cool like fossils and minerals and rocks and stuff, which is always something that I enjoy. We also went to the cat cafe. It was exactly what you'd expect. Adorable cats being adorable. It was really good. And we also had a wander. We just had a wander around town, saw all the really cool old buildings, and also, boom, we went gnome hunting. This is just a very small selection of the gnomes that we found. So in Wrocław, they have these everywhere, and you just have to keep your eyes peeled. They're next to doors, on the side of windowsills. This is the guy we found first. I found him the day before, near the multimedia fountain place. But all the rest of them, I think we found on this day, just wandering around looking for gnomes. It was an absolute great time. And then we went to Wrocław Zoo. These were adorable. There's loads of lizards and stuff. It's just, I love animals, as you can imagine. This was really cool. The hippo enclosure had like a full bit that you could look at, and I saw him running across the bottom, which is really cool. I'd never seen that before in real life, so boom. And the seal was playing with this, and it was adorable. And then I also bought some art supplies there, so I put it in as a little end place. I bought some Neocolor too. I specifically like looked at the colours for this and decided before I went there, because it was cheaper to buy them there than it is in England. And then I thought, while I'm there, why not grab a few other bits? So I got some echolina and some feathers for no reason, just because it's fun. And then, as you can see, like slightly less than a week later, I went to Budapest. This one was a solo trip, this one was with my mum. So yeah, and this is really annoying though. There's a cat hair under here, I don't know if you can see it. That got stuck under there when I stuck it down, which is well annoying. But there's cat hair everywhere in my life, so I just need to accept it. Literally a cat scratching at the litter tray as soon as I talk about cats. What are you doing? So, the first day there, Hungarian National Museum. This is sort of like what it looks like on the outside of it. So, I painted this. Yeah, great time. Again, I'll go into stuff further if I do a video. And also, there'll be a vlog about this at some point. But I've not even put my Berlin one out yet. So, I need to do Berlin. And then I need to do Wrocław. And then Hungary, Budapest. So, we'll see. Natural History Museum, as you can see, you can tell the vibes that I enjoy. I like looking at rocks and animals. It's who I am. And just buildings and stuff. There's a cool garden that I found there. I just noticed, I went on Google Maps, I thought that looks green. And then I just wandered around from here and it was really cool. There was some really big statues there, which was good. This was just a wander around the town. There was a lot of walking around in Budapest because it's so walkable and it's just so nice. And there's like 57,000 what are they called? Bridges. So just wandering around all the bridges. Then we went to this little place called the Zoo Cafe. So you have an hour there, you order your cake and your drink, and then every 10 minutes they just bring you a little animal and he just chills out with you on your table. It's adorable. So I had him, had his snake guy, a guinea pig, a little tortoise, and then Colin. I only remember Colin's name because like it was a bunny called Colin. How could I forget? I think the rest of them may have had more like Hungarian names, but like how can I forget Colin? And I think it was like his 3rd day there or something. He was adorable. But yeah, and the cake was really nice. And it was funny because when they brought this little guy, he said, oh, keep an eye on him because he's really fast and he likes to eat cake. And I thought it was like a turtle joke about it being fast, but like literally he was gunning for my cake the whole time. And then again, this day, just wandering around, had some local food because I wanted to try something local. Just loads of cool stuff. I mean, like, nearly every single picture of this is of a bridge. That's how you can tell there's loads of bridges there. And this is kind of how it's set up. So one side's Buddha and one side's Pest, and then there's loads of bridges to go from either side, and I had to wander all around all the places. And then I went to a cave. This was a bit further out, so yeah, there was just a cave tour there, which was really cool. And then from there I went to Margaret Island, which is an island in between Buddha and Pest. And on there was a bunch of stuff. There's like ruins, there's loads of statues, there's a little Japanese Zen garden, there's a little like local animal wildlife thing. So it's like local animals too hungry that can't be sat back out into the wild because they're like birds with broken wings, or like there's a few other animals like deer and stuff. So they live in this little place and it's really adorable. And then a river walk. Look, I was doing more walking. Just saw some more things. This sculpture. And this little guy is on one of the bridges, and I only found that out by accident because I was trying to Google what the bridge was called, and then I saw there was a little like pinpoint on it, and I was like, what is that? And I clicked on it, and there was this little guy. He's like inside one of the bits of the bridge. Is tiny. It's like this big. So I went back like a few days later and found him, and then I randomly ended up like a gig that was really random and meant that I had about 3 hours sleep before I had to go home the next day. But yeah, get all of the vibes, have all of the experiences, why not? But before I go on, I'm just going to show you another few little pages. So while I was there, my Airbnb, it had a booklet for people to write in, you know, when they go and say, oh yeah, this was a nice place. So I decided to do a little journal in there as well. I actually spent each night doing that instead of my own journal, so I did most of my own journal the next, like when I got home. But I thought I would share those pages with you as well. And the Airbnb hosts really liked it as well. I told them, I was like, oh, I left a little something special in the book for you. And then when they saw it, they messaged back that they really enjoyed it and it was really lovely. So yes. And then, oh, I have this here. So this is an escape room. And this Lincoln Light Night, there was just these Lincoln Light Monsters rather. There was these they were massive. These massive monsters that were on the side of buildings. And I thought this would be really cool because for my birthday in October, my brother got me some fluorescent oil pastels. So, boom. These are glowy. And in the Violet escape room, there was some like ultraviolet stuff going on in it. So I just thought this is a really fun page. It looks like there's nothing on there, look. But then really, it says Violet with it, and there's all my words, and then on the house there's some spooky thing. I really enjoy this page. This is just, you know, like one of those pens you get as a kid where you can write secret messages. And then this is the oil pastels, and so is this. It was a great time. And then this page I hate, All for the Game I love, but I've had these stickers for literally years and years and years. And I got the special editions of All for the Game series, and I was like, hey, maybe I'll use my stickers. But like, I hate the way this page looks. It's just so ugly. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like there's little quotes from the series and some pictures. But it's just ugly. But it's fine because I love the series, and you can't have beautiful things all the time. November, we had the second round of the Tomes and Treasures readathon. This one was different, so there was like a notice board of the different jobs you had to go after as the adventurer that you created in the time before. So in this one, here are the things I read, and here is like what they covered on the board, what they worked for. I only got a few things, and here's what I watched that month. And then I did this gig, was soft play. I think this might have been my last one of the year. And here's a little flappy. Boom, more pictures, great times. Again, this review will be linked down below. But yeah, that was a fun time. And then me and my sister did an escape room day. So we booked 4 escape rooms and like had some lunch in between. The first one we did was Dystopia, and here's the time that we managed to get out on there. And this one was cool because this one went straight into like, Utopia. and you actually went from one room and you landed in the next one, which was really cool. So we played them back to back. That's how much time we did in Utopia. And you can kind of guess what this was about. It's like, this is a dystopian world. This was more like computery and sci-fi and stuff. And then after the little break we had, we came back and did The Signal, which was about aliens and like being in the government and doing alien stuff. And then the last one we did was Spellbound, which was this room could have 10 people in, and it was literally me and my sister, and we managed to get out. 57:42 was our time. Madness. But yeah, there was loads of really fun things in this, and this was non-linear as well. There was just loads of different things you had to do, and you could just do them all whenever you wanted. So yeah, that was a really cool time, really cool day. Definitely want to do more full days of escape rooms because it's amazing. Because when you've done one, you always want to do more. And then we went to London one time, went to the museum for a bit. Just had a few hours to kill when we went to London because we went there to do the Taskmaster live experience. So that was what we did after. We went to the museum for a few hours, went and did the live experience. It was great. It was really fun to do. My mum actually won the round that we were playing, so she got a medal, and it was really cool. And then we're into December. It's the last month. If anybody's still here, then congrats to you. Yeah, Christmassy lights. This is just shiny paint. Here's what I read. Here's what I hauled, obviously, Christmas. There's quite a few things there. And then my watch list. I didn't really do much in December. So this is the art supplies that I got for Christmas. So I got Ecoline pens, the Woodies, Distress crayons, Samuel Smith watercolours, and I just wanted to do a page of that because I only had a few pages left. I wanted to try and like get it finished. And the last 2 pages I will show a little bit, but I don't know if they'll want to be online, but deal with it. This is my friend group. We're all concept photographers. That's how we met. And then we'd like to go and do a monthly meal. So I just took the selfies that we took, and then where we went, and the food, place, the month, and that's the end. So yeah, a couple of pages in here still left, but that's fine because they're actually perforated, so if I need to use them in my next journal, I can. And then here is my test page at the end, testing different things and writing on the certain numbers of pens if I'm using them for certain things that I'm going to be doing the whole year, so I actually remember what it is. But yes, that is the end of this video. If you got this far, well done, because I just chat waffle. Yeah, let me know if you do want like a whole travel journal video, because I have done several that I can show and talk about the process and what I use for it, etc. But yeah, comment anything if you want, do the things if you want, like if you want, comment if you want, subscribe if you want, but only if you want. And yes, I'll be back at some point soon with another video, so bye.